Maple syrup producers, they are closely watching the weather to anticipate the best conditions to, of course, begin tapping those trees. After a much different season last year, they're still waiting for that ideal moment to get a start. Leanne Byer reports.
This is typically the time of year where maple tree farmers begin tapping their trees, but this year's winter has been drastically different than last year's. By the end of February last year, Joe Hurley, who is the owner of Kettle Ridge Farm, said that they were about 75% done with tapping their trees. This year, however, with the cold temperatures and unfavorable weather conditions, it has delayed their process entirely.
Yes, it's very different this year with the weather, obviously. Our season was over after the first week of March. This year, with the colder weather, we haven't even tapped trees yet, and we'll probably not even make syrup until March.
Despite the cold winter, Hurley explained that temperature isn't the only factor affecting the tree tapping process. Elements such as sunshine, wind, and even snow cover can contribute to delays. However, there are ideal conditions they monitor for optimal tapping.
The perfect conditions for sap is 40 degrees in the day, following a 25-degree night. So you get that freeze-thaw cycle going, and that's what gets the sap moving in the tree. So on those 40-degree days, the sap starts flowing and we start collecting.
Once the ideal weather conditions are met, Hurley said that they move swiftly, as they typically produce between 400 and 500 gallons of maple syrup each year. However, the process itself can be quite time-consuming.
Well, the first step is to collect the sap out in the woods. We have a system of tubing, so the sap runs down the tubing into our collection tanks. Then we bring it up to the sugar house. We typically pump it up to the sugar house, and that's where we turn it into maple syrup. So we have a large evaporator up there. We get that sap boiling in the evaporator, and after a long time, it boils down to become maple syrup. We don't add anything to it. It's simply a matter of removing water from the sap and leaving some maple syrup.
Kettle Ridge Farm is now hosting Pancake Sundays every Sunday through March 9th, with a special return at the end of the month. The final 2 weekends will coincide with New York State Maple Weekends, where visitors can come and enjoy fresh maple syrup and take a tour of the farm. Reporting in Victor at Kettle Ridge Farm, Leanne Byer, News 8.